The following is a ForthHand production.
I've got these nuts.
We got these nuts. Damn.
What? No.
You suck!
Welcome back to another fantastic, fun-filled adventure episode of What to Suck. I am Chris.
And I'm James. What's up, bitches?
Aw, damn, coming strong out the gate. Yeah. So, man, it's Christmas is done. It's over.
Yeah.
Did you have a good Christmas?
Fantastic.
See a lot of the family this year?
Always.
Oh,
Yep.
that's awesome, man. What about your New Year? Did you have a good New Year?
That was fantastic.
Yeah. You looking-
Fantastic. Didn't do any. I didn't do much drinking because I don't do that, but I did have a little fun. Shot off some fireworks.
Nice.
Had some fun.
You looking forward to 2020, James?
Yes, I am.
Are you?
I like even numbered years.
Do you really?
I just do. I just like even numbered years. All the odd numbered years in my life have always seemed to be the tougher ones for some reason. Yes, I was born in an odd numbered year.
Okay.
On an odd numbered day.
Okay.
And I hate odd numbers.
All right.
So I don't know why.
Very weird.
It's just some weird thing with me, like when I'm listening to the stereo in the fucking truck.
Yeah.
It's always on an even number. When I'm cranking the knob, if it's got 45 settings, it never goes higher than 44.
You're so fucking weird. So weird. Well, the good thing about this New Year is that I think we have like Halloween is on the weekend.
Yes,
Christmas is on the weekend.
Hey, and Cinco de Mayo is on Taco fucking Tuesday. Bro.
Right, and that's all thanks to leap year.
Leap year.
So we get an extra day because of that. All of our favorite holidays are on the appropriate days.
That's right.
I am so looking forward to Halloween on a weekend.
Shit, yeah.
Can actually go out and enjoy some sort of Halloween party or something.
That's right.
Christmas on a weekend ain't gotta. This last year with Christmas being on a Wednesday, having to go back to work Thursday is some bullshit, man. That is
fuck
bullshit.
all that.
Fuck that shit,
fuck
dude.
all that.
People are like, why don't you take a holiday that day? I'm like, because I didn't get a chance to. I forgot to pull into PTO, so I had to work.
Yeah, I get 4 weeks a year, and I burn them all before the holidays.
Right? Yeah. Same here.
So. I don't want to burn up my vacation during the holidays because all my family's here anyway.
Yeah. So I got fucked on that. So.
Yep.
So today's episode is a 1980s piece of shit.
Are there any others, brother?
No, that's
is it any other way?
No other way for this podcast. So it's a 1988 low budget independent comedy horror. No. Wait.
I love it when they actually put that shit.
Yeah.
It always cracks me up. Low budget.
I don't know if we need to add that qualifier to any of our movies because none of our shit's gonna be high budget.
I
take that back.
What's the highest budget of any movie we've done so far?
It's either got to be like Bye Bye Man or Exorcist 2.
Yeah.
Because those are both big movies in theaters, so they gave them a decent sized budget.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up later or some
but
shit.
What the hell they do with the money? That's right. Hookers and booze. That's right.
And blow. And blow.
Yeah, we discussed that before.
Yeah. So it's the movie is a 1988 low budget horror comedy called Hobgoblins, or as I call it, the poor man's Gremlins.
That's right.
Yes, it's not so much a I can't even fucking say it. Not so much a ripoff of Gremlins, but it feels like it because the creatures look like dollar store versions. It's the GoBots of Gremlins.
Booyah! That's what I was gonna say.
You were
man. You hit it. You nailed it. That's all I had. I mean, praise Jesus.
Praise Jesus. Okay.
He got it. That's right.
So, Hobgoblins was directed by Rick Sloan, produced by Rick Sloan, written by Rick Sloan.
The triple threat.
The triple threat, buddy.
We know that's a shit show from the beginning.
So Rick Sloan actually did most of the motherfucking work on here. He not only did he direct it and produce it and write it, but he also did the cinematography.
Oh, good God.
And he edited the motherfucker. So,
control freak much?
Yes, and every bad scene you see in the movie is 100% his fault because not only did he write it and direct it, but he also edited it, which means he cut it into what he thought was a competent movie.
And he's the one who put the filters on the cameras.
Exactly.
The angles,
Yeah, he did
the
everything.
lighting.
I'm surprised he didn't star in the motherfucker. This is such an ego project for sure.
He's too busy playing God with the other shit to actually star.
So it's starring Tom Bartlett, Paige Sullivan, Stephen Boggs, Kelly Palmer, Billy Frank, and Darren Norris. It's distributed by American Cinema Marketing. Release date was July 14th, 1988. It's a smooth, cool running time of 92 minutes.
Cool.
And a low budget of $15,000.
$15,000.
$15,000, my friend.
Holy shit! You can't even buy IKEA for that.
Definitely not back then.
Damn. Holy shit! 15 grand.
15 grand, dude.
No wonder I never heard of any of the motherfuckers in this movie.
Yeah, it's.
Because you ran that whole list of names, not one rang a bell.
I don't think any of them actually even got paid. To be honest with you, they must have did it all for free, or just for credit on their IMDb account or some shit.
Is this a college project? Maybe
it looks like a college project
because it does. Because it like, hey, you guys want to get famous?
Yeah,
I got this movie, Hobgoblins.
All right, so the synopsis goes as such. Kevin just got hired to be an assistant night watchman at an old film vault. Warned to stay out of one mysterious chamber, the rookie guard can't help but satisfy his curiosity and unwittingly unleashes a group of hobgoblins.
Stupid motherfucker.
Alien. Go ahead.
I mean, Jesus. That's a hint and a half for your ass. Stay the fuck out of this room. Don't go in there.
Furry aliens who grant people wishes only to kill them in the process. As the body count starts to rise, Kevin, with the help of his friends, the fucking Scooby-Doo gang, decide to track down deadly creatures before they wreak havoc on the city.
Oh, jeez.
Director Rick Sloan's cult classic and Mysterious Science Theater 3000 fan favorite is a sleazy, low-rent tribute to creature features and drive-in fare.
You telling me MST 3000 tore this one up?
Oh my god, it was one of the better episodes, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, it was one of their better episodes.
I don't know if I saw that one or not.
Oh, you're going to wish you hadn't.
I'm sure that's true.
All right, okay. Yeah, all right. Well, so now that we have the synopsis out the way, let's get to the rating system so you can so you'll know when we rate this piece of shit what it means.
That's right. And if you've listened before, you pretty much already know, but you know what? For the new listeners, we're going to read it anyway.
And tell us how we do our rating system, James.
Well, we use an inverted shit scale using turd emojis, and the more turds it gets, the worse it is.
That's
which
correct.
Is completely opposite of what the norm would be. So if a movie garners a 1 turd from us, that's a must-watch for you guys. If it's a 5 turd, go kill yourself.
It's a I dare you to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, we do need to reemphasize that every once in a while.
Right.
We definitely want people to watch and slam on these movies and get enjoyment out of them that way, because you're not going to enjoy them if you're going to sit down and think you're going to witness a fine motion picture. These are
nowhere near. These
are horse apples.
These are the very bottom of the $1 bin at your local video store.
If that,
yeah. And we want you to watch them, but how you watch them and who you watch them with, that's what the rating system is for. As we'll get into shortly, you won't always watch them alone, and you won't always watch them sober.
No, see, that's just it. None of these movies that I think were reviewed yet you would want to watch alone.
Right.
You wouldn't. These are designed to be watching a group, designed to be riffed on and torn up, designed to play drinking games.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
So, let's get into it. 1 out of 5 shit emojis is something you're going to keep in your queue, something that's you'll watch over and over. It's one of your newer classics. I use classics in quotation marks, or air quotes, I should say. But you will definitely get endless enjoyment out of these. The 2 out of 5 shit emojis are ones that you'll watch with friends, but only the kind of friends who like really shitty movies, like my friend James here.
Yeah, that's right, brother.
They are not for everyone, and they're best with the group who like to riff or play a drinking game while watching it.
Which we've done.
Yes. 3 out of 5 shit emojis. These you'll at least want to share with your friends. Actually, no, hang on. Yeah, these you'll only share with your friends. You'll watch it with them only if you have nothing better to do, but you need to prepare to drink heavily while watching it.
Yes.
4 out of 5, you'll watch it with friends once, and trust me, that'll be enough. These are the ones that are so strange you may not want to see them more than once. These are the ones that are so strange you may not want to see them more than once, but you at least want to share your misery with friends.
Yep. And hope that you retain those friends.
Yes. And the 5 out of 5, the worst of the worst, the Fica de la Mater, are the ones you will only bring out on special occasions such as mother-in-law in town, forced double dates. And when you're done, you want to remove it from your memory with some sort of strong mind-altering substance, booze, LSD, angel dust, or blunt force trauma.
That's right.
Baseball bat to the head.
Go kiss a train.
Go kiss a train, head first into the garage door, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, James, what do you say we get into the review?
Let's rock, brother.
All right, let's do it, man.
For 30 years, a sinister secret lay hidden behind these walls.
I don't want to have to remind you a second time. Just stay clear of this area.
But there is something mysterious about this place that draws him closer to the truth.
I'm going down that hallway.
I'm going in for a closer look.
Stop whatever you're doing! Don't go near the vault!
And tonight, that secret is going to come out. The Hobgoblins are back.
We're too late!
And they're looking to party.
Cardboard! I recognize it anywhere!
Stop breathing all over me.
She must be happy to see him.
No one is safe from these cagey critters.
Creatures have a power. They can tap into your brain and sense the things that you really want to do.
What's wrong with that?
They also try to kill you.
But first, they will grant your heart's desire.
Do you kiss on the first date?
I go all the way on the first date.
My kind of woman.
Then they will uncover your most secret fantasies.
Amy would never come to a place like this.
Lapscom is proud to present Miss Amy Sims.
Oh my God.
And when your wildest dream is about to come true,
Get off the stage!
these gruesome gremlins turn it into a nightmare.
What's going on here? Just a problem involving some small predators, sir. We need to stage a diversion. And I have just what you need.
Because getting everything you want can be hazardous to your health.
War isn't pretty.
Hobgoblins, they'll make you party
In a rowdy crowd tonight.
till you drop dead.
So, James, what do you think of that movie?
Well, I got a kick out of this motherfucker.
You got.
I'm gonna tell you what, this is a drinking game movie for show.
For sure.
I don't know what kind of drinking game, but I'm thinking you can come up with something. But I'm gonna tell you what, this it was a pleasant surprise. Actually, I hate to fucking say that, but this movie, it was intentionally stupid.
Right.
Granted.
Yes.
But goddamn, it was funny. I was like, holy shit, you got to be kidding me, especially in fucking Hobgoblins.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Exactly.
So
It's
it
like-
definitely wasn't what you expected then, huh?
No, it was actually a pleasant surprise. I thought it was going to be stupid as fuck.
I mean, it was.
But when you said Mystery Science Theater did a shot on this, it had to be deliciously corny. I mean, it had to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that it was.
Yep.
So, okay, so the film opens at a warehouse where a security guard named Dennis is working as a security guard at an old movie studio. The old man comes up to him, has been the guard for like decades.
Yeah, some old snot-nosed, this little snot-nosed punk and this old Mr. Whipple-looking motherfucker.
Yeah, it couldn't be a bigger odd couple.
Nope.
Anyway, so they end up doing rounds. They go to do rounds.
Yeah, he's gonna train him. So
And
come
train
on,
him.
man. Come on.
So as they get inside one of the warehouses, he gets a call from the boss, and so he has to go see the boss. The old man does, and so the young guy is walking down. He comes upon this room where the vault is wide open, and he walks in, and all of a sudden he goes from being inside the vault to being on a rock stage.
Now, he opens the vault, I think, after the old buzzard told him not to.
Oh, that's right. He said the open.
Because
okay,
that's what all fucking
yeah.
teenage punks do when you tell them not to do something.
They do the opposite.
They do it anyway.
Yeah. So he opened the vault, and when he opens it, he sees a stage with lights and a microphone on it.
Yeah, and something's beginning to tell him, we started to put 2 and 2 together pretty quick.
Yeah.
I don't think this movie moved off this one lot. I think the entire movie was filmed at different angles in different rooms of this building.
Yeah.
Because
so matter of fact, like we noticed that the stage he was on ended up being the exact same stage
towards the end
of at a club called Club Scum. I mean, it's the same microphone, same lights, same band setup.
Yep.
So he either, we assume, because he's obviously he's fantasizing.
Yep.
And he's fantasizing about being on stage and being a really rock star.
And at this point in the movie, most people wouldn't know why he's fantasizing, but that is later explained.
Right. But we decided that he either has been to Club Scum because he knows exactly what the stage looks like, which is what it looks like in the movie, or we deduced that the entire movie was shot on one lot. They just used the same stage for that shot as the one they used later on for Club Scum. Well, anyway, so he's on stage. He's doing his stupid dance. He's doing his really bad David Bowie, Freddie Mercury impression. And then he falls off. He it doesn't show him.
He stage dives.
He stage dives.
He fucking does a stage dive. And what the hell? And it's fucking stupid. He just stage dives, and then he's laying on the ground, head bleeding, and he apparently dies.
He dies. Well, he's still breathing, as you pointed out. He has blood coming down his head, down his shirt. You see him breathing. He's pretty mortally wounded. But the old man comes back from meeting with the boss, and he goes in there and he sees the door is open. He sees that the guy's on the ground covered in blood,
and he doesn't help him.
Instead of helping him, he locks the fucker in.
He closes the fucking door. He says, "Instead of letting these little fuckers out, let's keep this dead guy in
there."
He
tells his boss that the guy quit.
Yeah.
So we've got a real Scooby-Doo thing going on here because we got an old man.
That's a real good point because it's exactly that way. You've got a group of these fucking douches running around just trying to deal with these little guys.
You got a haunted studio.
Yep.
You got a crotchety old man who runs it.
Mr. Carswell.
You've got people dying inside of it, and it's getting covered up. And then you've got the group of friends who ride around in a fucking van. So this is a low budget Scooby-Doo.
It is, and the entire movie is laced gloriously with what I call cat on the organ music. It's like a cat walking across organ keys. And but it's also not really that bad. The music so far, it's typical 80s, and there's actually some of it that actually sounds like they swipe clips from like Halloween and shit. And the suspense kind of music.
And we noticed a lot of it seems stock too, because there's a lot of musical cues that seem like just something you would find anywhere that's on any movie that's low budget.
Any low budget, yeah, exactly, like free shit. Unlicensed, I mean,
they kind of had to. They only had $15,000 in the budget to use.
15,000,
and 1,000 of that went to the 10,000 of that went to the puppets for the Hobgoblins. So then after that, and again, the old man guard tells the boss that the guy just quit. Not that he left him in there to be murdered, but that he quit.
Murdered or dead. He says, well, he just took off.
Yeah, he just left the fucker in there to quit. To die. And so then they hire a new guy by the name of Kevin, who I guess is the quote unquote star of the movie, who takes the job so he can press his bitch of a girlfriend, Amy, who is never satisfied with any fucking thing at all.
Where we heard that before.
Yeah. So he takes the job, and he's there his first night, and is it the first night? No, second night. So he's there. So there's a scene where the guard is telling him, you know, about the job. It's whatever.
And he's grabbing a notepad and he's all gung ho and shit.
Yeah, he's gonna take this job seriously. He needs this job to impress his girlfriend.
Then he whips out. Don't forget, he also whips out that piece and shows him the gun and shit. And he's like, "I'm gonna have to teach you how to use this one of these days. I've been here 30 years, never fired a shot, but
never." And it was like a 22, but it looked like a fucking like water pistol. It was like it was the fakest, smallest gun I've ever seen in my life.
15,000.
Yeah, 15,000.
They probably got it out of some little kid's yard or something. Here's a prop. Fuck it.
Those shit. So then after that scene, we cut to the next day when he comes home from his shift to find his girlfriend is at home with two of their friends.
Bitchy Amy and two of the other friends.
Yeah, Bitchy Amy and then their two friends. Kyle, who's a little pervert. That's all there is to it. And then, what's the other hoe's name? What's the hoe name? I call her Jessie Spano. She looks like Jessie Spano from Saved by the Bell.
Yep.
Anyway, so they're there, but while they're there, Jesse's boyfriend comes back from the army, and he pulls up in his Scooby-Doo van.
And I'm gonna tell you what, as an army vet, I try not to take that part personally, but man, I'm gonna tell you what, that's fucking that.
They did the bare minimum of research on what soldiers wear with regards to uniform.
Yeah, and it was, obviously in movies, it's fake. I know this is a horror comedy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I still look sideways at it. I was like, man.
Yeah.
Because, they're making my branch look stupid.
Yeah.
That kind of. But then again, you look past that. Because it's intentionally corny. It's supposed to be stupid.
Yeah.
But this guy's over the top moronic.
I mean, just run down a quick list of the things you found wrong with his uniform and with him when he showed up.
First of all, he's wearing a tan shirt.
Okay.
They don't do tan shirts in the army.
All right.
The green pants. I don't even know if the pants were green. They looked like a dark. They looked
like a brown or a gray or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, like the tan shirts, those are the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
They wear the tan shirts. I think the Navy does too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no. And he has no rank insignia.
Nope.
His dog tag's on the outside of his shirt.
Uh-huh.
He looks like a rag bag. His shit's all fucked up. He's got no A-line. He's a dumbass. Plus, he has some kind of Danny Zuko fucking haircut.
I was just going to say the haircut, yeah.
He's got this big old fucking...
He looks like a fucking Guido.
Pompadour. I'm sitting there going, and he supposedly just got out of training.
Right. 2 months of training.
Yeah, when I got out of training, my hair was so damn short, it was like a baby's ass.
I had no hair.
No hair.
Just
gone.
shaved.
See ya.
Yeah.
You were not allowed to have any hair.
This guy's over here looking like Tony Danza's retarded brother.
No shit.
So then he gets there, and so he starts, showing off his masculinity, talking about all the shit he did in training, and
then the little hoe, whatever you call her,
Jessie Spano.
They go jump in the fucking van, and the van.
Oh yeah, and then the van starts creaking, and it's making
it's rocking, and it's going doing,
doing.
I mean, dubbed over sound effects.
Yeah,
but
that is the actual sound effect in the movie, folks. It's doing.
Yep. Now, this, like I said, you're gonna want to see this one. This is pretty damn funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious, and so while he's telling all about that, Jessie Spano's getting all hot and bothered, and then Amy, the bitch that she is putting down Kevin because Kevin's like, well, I got a gun at my work too, and what's his face, Tony Zuko's like, whoa, it's my gun.
There you go, mix it up.
Yeah, I'm mixing everything up.
Anyway, old Vinny Lasagna over here. What you gonna do, eh?
But while that's happening,
and more Italian. Here we go with more Italian shit.
Hey, I'm in the army. Hey, got a gun and shoot it off.
Oh Lord!
And then make it the lasagna.
Yes.
But while that's happening, Kyle, the pervert, asks if he could use his phone, and he goes to call a 1-800-sex line in his
976 skag or some
skag,
shit.
Yeah, 976 skag.
I was like,
from his friend's house.
And while he's in there whacking his shit to a phone call, I think Tony Baloney goes out in the front yard with a fucking rake and gets Kyle out there and challenges him to to a damn, some
he said he's gonna
hand-to-hand
teach him
combat.
how to fight hand-to-hand combat. But they don't fight hand-to-hand. What do? They pick up a rake and a hoe. Not Jesse, a different hoe.
That's right. They pick up a hoe and then they start clacking the sticks together and start fighting, and then it's horrible. It's goofy.
And that's all they do.
He knocks him down like 3 times, and then he jumps on him. You give, like some old schoolyard bullshit,
Yeah.
Sitting there, you give up, and he's like, yeah, damn it, So he gets off of him, and then this woman, Amy the bitch, just flat out tells him to his face, yeah, you just got
you're
no
pathetic.
dick.
Yeah, you're pathetic.
You got no balls whatsoever. You are a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I told him basically he was no man. He was this, that, and the other. So now this little dickhead's got a complex.
Right.
So
he already had a complex before.
That's true. Now it's worse.
And then, of course, after that fight in the soldier and Tony Baloney wins, the Jesse Spano's like getting all hot and horny. So they go back in the van, and then once again it's boing, boing, boing.
That's right.
So then we cut to that very night when Kevin is telling the old man all about his problems at home, whatever.
He's back on the job.
Then,
second day on the job, he's telling this old fart he barely knows his life story.
All his problems with this hoe of a woman.
Yep.
Sorry, she's not a hoe, she's a bitch. But then they're interrupted when they see on the one TV they have, which is okay. Let's set the scene, folks. So the 2 security guards are standing outside of the security station, the little booth that they have. Okay.
Yep.
Normally when they have a booth, it's because they're inside and they're watching TV screens of cameras either pointing at the booth or at the entranceway or at the doors or whatever. Okay.
This one is pointed at a fucking wall.
Well, not even that. The fucking TV, first of all, they usually have multiple screens for multiple cameras.
Absolutely.
They have one TV for one camera, which is not even inside the fucking thing. It's outside, like they're watching football in the backyard.
That's it.
It's outside of their booth.
It's watching an electric socket on an outside wall.
It's not even watching a door. It's watching an electric socket.
What? No.
Hey, you guys. Oh, my no.
A Very Brady podcast. Join host Tack Van Sickle and his guest each week as they hilariously dissect the iconic TV show The Brady Bunch, one episode at a time.
He was so creepy, though. That guy was like, he's like, I guarantee you, if they could have really done the show the way they want to do it, like he was going to have a cup to the door listening in that night. In their room.
A look back at a simpler time where everything was groovy.
So her kids almost wrecked her marriage. Her employee shames her, and she thanks both of them. It's awesome.
So grab your potato sack and head out to the backyard for some fun.
She's in her own room.
What did we tell her about sleeping?
They went and got the entire family for Dad to pick her up and put her in her bed 2 feet away from the desk.
And obviously before they did that, they also said, family, go get your bathrobes. Everyone needs to be in a bathrobe.
A Very Brady podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and anywhere podcasts are available.
They have some compromising pictures of Alice that they could have used to blackmail her and keep her there. I've seen those pictures, and Alice is hotter than you think. I'm going to just put that out there and just say it.
That blue dress doesn't do justice?
No, it does. For me, that blue dress does everything.
Far out.
You're a bad man, Tack. You're a bad human. There's a lot of weird in this show.
What? No.
But they just happened to see another Tony Baloney sneaking around the lot in his leather jacket and his...
Yeah, was it Kaneki come up?
Yeah. And so they take off after him. They grab the gun, they take off after him. And they get to him, and he gets the old man, and he holds him hostage.
Actually, what happens is the old bastard tells him to stay at his post in the front. He's going to go check it out. So he goes to check it out, and then the greaser jumps his ass.
Right, yeah.
Puts a knife to his throat. And then Kyle the wuss goes over there with the gun and fires a warning shot. And the guy just runs the fuck out.
And it scares the guy away. And so he goes chasing after the guy, who the guy ends up heading towards the vault.
Of course.
And while Kevin is in there looking for... no, he runs thinking he's
Kevin?
going... It's Kevin.
I keep calling him Kyle.
Kyle is the pervert.
Kyle's the perv.
Kyle's a pervert.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. So Kevin thinks he went towards the vault. So he heads that way, and he sees the vault there, and he goes to open it, and he opens it up, and the hobgoblins escape.
You hear the noise, but you're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
You hear this.
You don't see anything.
You don't see nothing.
So at this point, we are 28 minutes into the movie.
And have not seen...
hide nor hair.
of one single motherfucking hobgoblin.
No. But after they escape at around the 29-minute mark, we are then given full-on view of all 4 of the puppets they have for this hobgoblin
And
creatures.
I'm going to tell you what, and this is some funny ass shit. They jacked the golf cart and they're chasing these motherfuckers.
The golf cart the old man uses to get around the lot.
And it's obviously fake. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I think this was an intentional Gremlins ripoff. I think they probably even got permission to do it. But I'm going to tell you what, it's hilarious. They're chasing them in this fucking golf cart. And then these things don't move. They don't blink.
No.
Their mouths don't move. Their
Nope.
arms don't move.
The goblin that's the hobgoblin that's driving the golf cart, his hands are obviously like put into place there with like wire or something, because he's holding it at the 7 and 4 part of the steering wheel, and and the arms go back and forth, but it's obviously just a guy underneath with a wire going, moving up and down. And so, but you see all 4 goblins sitting, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. There they are in full glory.
In full glory. They're all just
and they are awesomely bad.
It is. It's awesome.
So then the old man and Kevin catch up to the golf cart, only to find it empty. They've escaped. They're gone.
Of course, they're gone.
And that's when the old man goes into his exposition dump, in which he talks about how 50 years ago he was working the lot.
Yep.
And the creatures, a UFO came down, landed right near him on the lot, and the creatures popped out.
It looked like a spaghetti strainer. If you've ever used one of those old school
metal strainers,
the metal strainers
yes.
with it's a cone shape.
Yes,
that's basically what it looked like.
Yeah. And so then he captured them and kept them on the lot because they were too much trouble. Because this is when he explains that they have the ability to get inside your head and make you see whatever your greatest fantasy is.
And that would explain the first scene,
right,
which we didn't understand at first. We're
right.
Like, what the hell are they talking about? But yes.
And by doing so, they also do that so that they can kill you. Why they kill you, he didn't explain. They just want to kill you. They're gremlins. They just want to cause harm. But they're not gremlins. They're hobgoblins.
They're hobgoblins.
But they're not hobgoblins. They're technically fucking aliens. But you call them hobgoblins for some fucking reason.
There's some fucking Ernie puppets with some green skin and some damn gray hair glued to the shit.
There's a white wig hair glued to the shit. So then we cut to the scene of Kevin's house where his friends are listening to a record and dancing like jackasses.
This scene was pretty damn funny because the music is corny, the dancing is horrible, but the scenes you see through the window, people going back and forth and being stupid, it's just that kind of corny.
It's so bad, but they think they did such a great job.
I'm
with
sure
it.
they did.
And so we cut to them, and then it cuts outside, and all 4 goblins are outside, and they left. Okay, they left the studio lot. They just happened to come upon the first house was Kevin's house.
Of course,
Just happened.
Either that or Kevin was there and they lifted his wallet.
Oh,
got his address,
they
maybe.
took
Who
his
knows?
ID.
They took his ID and found his address. They said, "We're gonna get this motherfucker."
They took his ID. So then, while they're inside, one of the this is so funny. One of the goblins has a fucking horn, like an old school bike horn. Okay, like an old school.
It's his hoe call.
He squeezes the horn, which sounds like Tony Baloney's car horn.
That's it.
And Jessie Spanho thinks that her boyfriend is back, and so she runs outside to meet him, but he's not there because it's not him, it's the goblin. Anyway, while she's waiting outside, a goblin shows up behind her and then starts attacking her, and we are greeted to a scene of an actress rolling around on the dirt with a fucking doll in her hand, trying to pretend that the doll is attacking her.
Yeah, and she's like, all this fake struggle and shit.
Yeah. And then we're greeted to a scene of she knocks it off, runs inside.
Well, she hacks it with a hoe.
She hacks it with a hoe, which knocks it off, hacks it with a hoe. Then she runs inside, and then after she runs inside, the goblins all of a sudden appear inside the house and start attacking all of the 3.
They came out from behind the furniture and shit, and they jump everybody. And it is the worst but funny ass scene of them rolling around the couch.
Yeah.
And fucking Kyle pulls up a fucking pillow and starts pillow fighting
with the
fuckers.
goblin. Yeah,
it's just stupid as shit, but man, it's funny.
But they're so clever. And like, you mentioned that they come from behind the couch. They're, I want to say, clever.
Now, you got to have a thick skin too. This is intentionally corny. So when y'all watch this, you got to know that.
So
to appreciate the humor, so to say.
I don't want to say clever, but as you mentioned, they come up from behind the couch. They made sure there was always something in the area where they could hide the puppeteers.
Of course.
But not the goblins.
I could see two guys going fucking nodding their heads.
That's all I do.
I'm doing what whatever. $20 is $20. Fuck it.
20 is 20. I'll take $20. So then the GI Joey Baloney shows up, or Tony Baloney shows up, and
it all works.
Yeah, and he pulls out a goddamn grenade out of his glove box. He keeps a grenade in his glove box.
Oh, it's standard issue. Standard Army issue. Yeah, they give you grenades to take home.
They're like, "Oh, you're going on leave. Here you go. Here's your airline ticket. Here's your rucksack. Oh, here's a couple pineapples for you to take with you on the plane." So then he's about to use the grenade inside the house, and then Kevin shows up.
Hey, fucker!
Says, "Don't blow my house up, you asshole!" Fucking
you stupid pizza eating motherfucker,
Guido motherfucker. Okay, and so what he does is he convinces him not to blow up the house. He reaches inside, turns all the lights off, everything off, and as we didn't explain earlier, but the old man said that the hobgoblins are attracted to lights, bright lights.
Bright light, get it?
Yeah.
Bright light.
So he turns all the lights out, and the hobgoblins leave the house. So then they run into Tony Baloney's car. They run and close the door, and the hobgoblins are theoretically trapped inside Tony Baloney's van.
Yep.
So after that happens, they go back in the house. The friends all get on the couch like they're tired, like they just ran a marathon. They're tired as shit, except for Kyle.
Exactly.
What does Kyle do?
Kyle goes back into the back room and dials up 976 SCAG again.
He just fought off aliens from another world, and his first thought...
He's got to go spank one off.
He's got to go call the SCAG line.
What is they fire off a few knuckle children? Yep.
Yeah. That's his first thought.
Oh,
so then he's talking to the lady on the phone, but then we're treated to a scene that had us both just rolling hard, where he's standing next. So Kyle is in this other room, standing right next to a lamp, talking on the phone. All of a sudden, from behind the fucking lamp, you see a hobgoblin slowly rise up off camera and just sit there next to the lamp.
And this thing keeps laughing. He's like,
yeah, he's got his mouth open, and he's just nodding his head.
Because he's getting in his head.
And
he's starting to get in his mind.
And he switches it up on Kyle. So all of a sudden the line changes, and the lady on the line says, "You know, why are you talking to me? I'm right outside.
Yeah, quit wasting money on me.
I'm right outside."
Yeah.
So the fantasy starts, and Kyle goes outside and sees this nasty Rod Stewart looking hoe outside in these gold
Rod Stewart.
in these
Jesus,
these tight gold pants.
Hey, I like the gold pants though.
You were a fan of the gold pants.
I did like the gold pants. She looked pretty good in the gold pants. From the waist down, she didn't look too bad.
She was definitely,
but no,
from the ankle up, she was ugly as shit. So she convinces him to go to Reputation Road, which is their makeout point, and it's great because while they're driving, they come upon a sign that says Reputation Road, but it looks like something out of like the Wile E. Coyote movies or shows, because it's like
the Acme sign.
Yeah,
it's
the brown wood with like white words written on it.
Yep.
And so
Reputation Road.
And so he turns and goes up there, and they get there, and they get to a spot, and he stops, and she's like, "You can't stop here. You need to go forward to go all the way." While she's saying that, behind her, there's a sign that says "Kissing Area."
Yeah, kissing area or kissing
only. Kissing
I think.
only.
Yeah.
So then she goes, "No, you have to go up there to go all the way." And so as she pulls forward, the camera switches, and there's another sign that says "all the way," because the hobgoblins realize this guy is so stupid that he will believe anything he sees.
And I think there were several times without cue, me and Chris looked at each other. Just
like
we just took a look and like, what the fuck was that?
Kevin runs out just as Kyle's leaving, and he overhears Kyle say they're going, we're going to Repetition Road.
Yep.
So then he asks his friends where it's at. They tell him. He takes off after him.
Daphne is her name.
Daphne. There you go, Daphne. Yes.
Daphne the hoe.
Daphne is Jesse Spanho.
So it's funny. So we do have Scooby-Doo gang, but we actually have a Daphne.
We have a Daphne. That's right. That's
and
a good
she's
point.
the hoe.
She's the hoe, and she is the hoe. And Amy, the non-hoe, looks like a Velma.
Yeah.
She got the short brown hair.
Actually, Amy's better looking.
Yeah, she's better
in
looking.
my opinion.
Yeah.
But now I know what you mean.
And Tony Baloney looks like a dark-haired Fred.
Kinda. He's got that same kind of loser attitude.
He does. Yeah.
Kind of false leadership.
And so that would make Kevin Shaggy and Kyle Scooby-Doo.
Shaggy and Scooby were always hitting the blunt, and then eating
everything.
Why do you think they're always fucking snacking?
And so after they tell him where to go, he heads off to go save Kyle. While that's happening, for some reason, Amy looks in the paper and sees an ad for his Club Scum and decides she wants to go because she's tired of being a good girl.
Mm-hmm.
So we get this whole scene where Kyle and the prostitute are at the point, and they're sitting in the car, and then from behind the back seat comes the Hobgoblin again with the puppeteer laying in the back seat.
That's right. That's what I was sitting there going, man. I could see the college kid in the back going, God damn. My life has not amounted to much so far.
He is making his $15 a day. Let me
He's
tell
making
you.
his $15.
Yeah.
That's right. He's earning it.
And so the prostitute tells him that she's gonna go outside and get ready, and he needs to prepare himself. And while he's sitting in the front seat, she tells him to put it in neutral, and she tries to push the car.
I don't think she even says it. I think she distracts him and puts it in neutral when he ain't looking.
It doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there.
I guess it don't matter.
It don't matter. No,
this is not a thinking man's movie.
You're getting too in detail over this shit. The point is, she tries to kill him by pushing the car over the cliff.
Yep.
She's not able to. Kevin shows up right as she's getting ready to do it and sees the Hobgoblin standing on the line. Standing on the sign that's there.
Yep.
He had brought the rake with him from the earlier fight that was still laying on the lawn, by the way, that he didn't fucking pick up. It was still laying on the front lawn. He picked it up, took it with him, and then he hits the Hobgoblin with the rake.
Takes him out. Pap.
And then the hoe disappears.
She just vanishes.
Yeah. And
so obviously she's a figment.
She's Kyle's fantasy. And so after he pulls Kyle out and they're arguing about what's going on and where the woman went, the car for some reason starts rolling again by itself.
Yep.
Rolls off the cliff, blows up.
Because I even said, I was like, oh, come on, no explosion.
Because it rolled like 4 times.
Yeah. I said, you're going, it ain't even going to blow up. And then it blew up, so.
Yeah, 4 times and there was no explosion. So then he saves Kyle. They get back to the house and the Hobgoblins open up the van that they're stuck in. And Kyle and Kevin start fighting them. But then they escape, and then they grab the rest of the gang into the legit. What's the car called?
The Mystery Machine.
Yes, a legit
yeah.
Mystery Machine van.
Yep.
Because it
is a GMC van.
That's right.
It's got the round headlights. So yep.
And they head out to Club Scum to find Amy because she's gone there. And then once they get there, we are inside of Club Scum for approximately 20 minutes of this movie. We are inside this fucking club. This is almost the entire last act of the movie. Okay.
Well,
we are treated to a entire song by a band whose lead singer is called Spit Spigney.
Spit Spagnu
or Spit Baggins or some shit. But we're treated to an entire synth rock, pop rock.
Well, it's what I call more new wave-ish.
New wave-ish song.
Like early 80s new wave. The old, and I actually enjoyed the song, although the words were completely fucking stupid.
And on purpose, obviously.
But on purpose.
Yeah.
But the music I enjoyed because that was like old school 80s new wave music, and I used to love that shit. Punk rock.
The sound was really good. The sound of the song wasn't too bad. You're right. It sounds
but the words were ridiculous.
The words were completely ridiculous. And it wouldn't have minded so much, but they did play the entire 3.5 minute fucking song.
Yep, I even said it was like one of those long Family Guy jokes.
Yeah,
they're hilarious, but they're intentionally stretched out on purpose. Well, this one I was like, damn, I was like, well, shit, and they did. They literally played the whole fucking song.
Yeah, and then the very next act ends up being Amy. She's on stage. and she starts doing a very, very low key striptease.
Yeah, she's looking kind of good in them blue shorts she was wearing.
Yeah, she had like these blue like
leotard
pants, whatever, and this like corset on, and then the gloves, and she was doing like a little dance for like the next like 2 minutes, and it was stupid. Anyway,
but that's okay because the movie took a big upswing for me at that.
Yeah,
point.
so this whole section, like it's so fucking strange because I don't know. I'm having a hard time. They established earlier that the hobgoblins mess with your mind.
Yeah.
But like with Kyle, like you see the hobgoblin come up next to him, starts messing with his mind, and he starts seeing shit. At this point, you didn't see a hobgoblin get next to Amy. You didn't see her start getting messed with her mind. Okay, there's a scene inside the bar where Tony Baloney's sergeant shows up.
Yes.
Out of fucking nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
But that's obviously a figment of his imagination, but you didn't see another hobgoblin come up next to him to start that fantasy.
I know they were wrestling around and they were in there, but yeah, you're right. There
yeah.
wasn't one right there to do it, but yeah, obviously that was his fantasy to be in war because it's all he talked about. So this guy commences to arm him to the teeth
with bandolier, with rifle,
and a shitload of pineapples,
rifle ammo, a bunch of pineapples, and then a fucking Uzi.
Yep, and a knife,
and the whole
thing, and then tops it off with the red
bandana because he's a wannabe Rambo.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you don't for most of the 20 minutes in this scene when all this crazy shit is going on, with Amy stripping, with Tony Rambo's sergeant showing up, you don't see any of the hobgoblins until like almost the end of it. Then they start showing up,
start popping up from behind the bar and all these places and stuff. Yeah.
Meanwhile, you've got Tony Baloney, who's lost in his mind in his non-existent Vietnam, who's just throwing grenades left and right inside the fucking bar.
Inside the bar. And we didn't mention this, but after Amy's like strip session or whatever, she starts messing with the bouncer and she takes him out to like the front area. Oh, Road Rash.
That was his. To start making out with him. She's making out with Road Rash while Tony Baloney's inside throwing grenades, and people are running around screaming and stuff. And the bouncer stops making out and is like, "Wait a minute, I think I hear people screaming." He didn't hear the fucking grenades, but
you don't hear all these large explosions.
You don't hear these,
but you hear people screaming.
Yeah,
what's going on here?
But then he goes back to kissing her, and then like Tony Baloney throws like 3 more grenades, and then Road Rash goes, "Wait, what is that sound?" It's like it's like 8 grenades he just threw at a fucking inside the club. So then Daphne tells the sergeant, who, even though it's Tony Baloney's fantasy, the sergeant is flesh and blood, and everybody can see him, including Daphne.
Yep.
Daphne goes up to him and says, "You got to save him. You got to make him stop." And the sergeant's like, "Why? He's had his best training he's ever had. He's gonna be an American hero." And then he grabs a grenade and he says, "What's his name? Tony, whatever his name is. I don't know what the fuck his name is." He said, "Tony, save our troops." And he throws a grenade, and Tony throws himself on the grenade, which I wouldn't have thought Tony would have done because he seemed too selfish to do that kind of shit.
Yep.
He didn't seem like the kind of person to self-sacrifice for his fellow soldiers.
And then what I noticed, he was laying on it, but the explosion goes off in front of him.
That's a different one.
That is a different one.
What happens with him is it explodes, but instead of blowing him apart, it sets him on fire.
That's right.
So it wasn't a explosive grenade; it was an incendiary bomb.
Grenade, I guess.
So there's literally like a minute-long scene where he's running around screaming on fire. Shit. Nobody fucking helps him. Not a single fucking person. Daphne, nobody. They're all standing here watching some motherfucker burn like a cannoli.
Well,
and then that's when Daphne grabs the other grenade, stuffs it down the sergeant's shirt.
That's right.
And then the sergeant,
the guy.
Yeah, the sergeant.
That's right.
That's when the grenade goes off like 2 feet in front of the sergeant.
You can see the fire pillar comes up.
Right, which is just
not even a grenade explosion.
It's just a pyro.
It's a flash pot.
Yeah.
It goes off. He goes flying backwards. He's out.
Yeah, he didn't explode. He just goes flying back. So then it cuts to they all get in the car. What happened was so then what happens is they end up using a grenade to kill. When the sergeant's killed,
it takes out two of the remaining hobgoblins.
Two of the hobgoblins,
club,
which are right next to the sergeant, apparently.
And that snaps
everybody out of it.
That snaps everybody out of their little delusion.
Yeah, because Amy comes back,
yep.
and I mean Tony Baloney's dead, or he's on fire, but so So Kevin grabs the other 4, and they head back to the studio because they see the Hobgoblins taking off, and they think they're going back to the studio. So they get back to the studio, and when they get there, who shows up but Tony Baloney number 2?
That's right.
The criminal from earlier. Yeah,
Kaneki shows up.
Yeah, from earlier. And says, we're going to settle this. He's talking to Kevin. We're going to settle this. And by settling this, he means he pulls out 2 pair of goddamn nunchucks out of his leather jacket. Tosses.
But at least he tosses him a pair.
Tosses Kevin a pair of nunchucks. Okay.
Then starts in a very corny fashion, flipping his around his waist.
This fight is worse than Kirk on the original Star Trek series.
Yeah, and that's hard to do.
That is hard to do.
Yes, it is.
Kevin doesn't even use the fucking nunchucks right. He's still holding both nunchucks in one hand.
Yep.
And just like bats the guy away a bunch
of
times.
But no, you can't forget, before he starts to fight him, he says, Amy, I'm going to make you proud.
Yes, I'm like, what? This guy is a criminal.
Yeah, and so he jumps in there and commences to get his ass
whooped. Canuck opens up a can of whoop ass.
Yep, starts to whoop on his ass, and about 2/3 of the way through the fight, finally, Kevin the douche connects with one, and then hits him a couple times, then finally takes his ass out.
Yeah, knocks him down onto the golf cart, which is nearby, but then Canuck pulls out a gun and points it at Kevin, getting ready to shoot him, and then you hear a shot go off.
Yep.
And you look and you see the old man is behind Kevin by the van, and he had actually shot the Hobgoblin.
Shot the Hobgoblin, and Kaneki
vanishes. So it was
obviously it's all in his head.
It was all Kevin's fantasy to prove to Amy that he's not a fucking pansy ass.
Yeah.
And so
he's fantasizing about dudes though. So something wrong with that.
Well, I mean, Tony Baloney is fantasizing about a sergeant. So,
I guess so.
His sergeant showed up in full gear, And so then old man and Kevin chase the Hobgoblins back into the vault. They lock him in, and then they go back downstairs, and the old man, all of a sudden, apparently he was in the war that he didn't
said,
mention.
You want to know what I did when I was in the war? And what did he say?
Ordnance.
Ordnance, that's right. And he pushes a button and blows the
blows up the fucking...
Blows up the
vault
to
kill the Hobgoblins.
To kill the rest of them.
And then, just to make this movie even dumber than it already is, after that happens, Kyle tries to hit on Daphne.
Yep.
Because Tony Baloney's gone. After he hits on her, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, from the right of the screen, fucking Tony Baloney shows up.
And he's got a few little bandages and a little fake blood.
Now, let's set this scene for you folks, okay? Let's go back to this scene, okay? We had mentioned he fell on a grenade.
Yep.
All right. The grenade was not an explosive grenade. It was incendiary. Okay.
Obviously.
There was a whole minute. Okay, let's be a little less liberal than that. There was maybe 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Of him, a.k.a. the stunt
spinning
double,
around in a circle.
fully engulfed in fire. Okay,
Head
he was
to toe,
fully engulfed.
Yeah.
Yes. When he shows back up, not only does he have only a bandage on his arm with some red marks, he's in his uniform still. He's got a full head of goddamn hair. And not a single other mark on this motherfucker.
Nope.
He should have 8th degree burns, if not be dead. And he shows up with his full Tony Danza fucking haircut, still intact, not a single hair out of place. I'm trying to figure out, was that whole goddamn section a fantasy?
I don't know. It might have been.
Was Daphne fantasizing about her boyfriend on fire? Because there's no way he was on fire that much.
It didn't really explain it. Because
didn't explain anything.
No. Because after the fire, they just took off after the sergeant got blown up.
Nobody helped him.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nobody went back for him. They just left.
Yeah.
And then he shows up on crutches with a Band-Aid.
With a full head of hair.
Yeah.
Barely even burned. His arm, this bandage, looks like it has a fucking Indian burn. Not a 3rd degree fire burn.
Yeah, no shit.
And then that's it. And that's the end of the movie.
That's it. It just ends, and
that's
no
Hobgoblin for you folks.
That's Hobgoblins.
All right, James. I want let's go with you first. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you.
What did you like about the movie?
I liked everything about it.
You did?
I really, really did.
Okay.
The acting was deliberately corny.
Oh.
I mean, like I said, if you approach this movie with its true intent, it hits on all cylinders for me. It's completely corny. It's horribly acted on purpose. The script is horrible. The effects are god awful.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hobgoblin puppets and stuff, they were fucking hilarious. So I'm straight up for this one, this is a drinking movie.
Okay.
Drinking game movie.
Yeah.
I'm going a strong 2 turd
Strong
on
2.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't quite give it a 1, but you know what? It's damn close.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely a drinking movie, riffing movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I take that back. I'm going to give it a 1.
You give it a 1 now.
I'm going to give this one a 1 turd because I recommend this movie. People got to watch this one and drink some booze, laugh it up, riff on this sucker because you will have a ball.
Yeah.
It's fucking funny.
I'm gonna go 2 as well. Strong 2.
Yep.
I'm gonna go 2 like you did your original thing. Strong 2 because, this movie is absolute horrible fun.
Yes.
Is the best way I can put this because, it like you said, if you go into it with its full intent of the idea that it is not meant to be a 100% serious movie, then you will thoroughly enjoy it.
Absolutely.
The acting is so, what's so funny? It's like some movies where acting is bad. It's bad because the actors themselves are not very good. They can't deliver a line. They don't know what their purpose is for the character. So they try to do the character the best they can, but it comes out bad. These actors, it's like they didn't give a shit and they just did whatever they wanted to do, and it came out so bad but also so fucking perfect.
Yep.
And what's also great is that not only that, but with very little backstory for each one has their own individual personality.
Yes.
You know who Kyle is. You know who he is. He's a pervert. You know who Daphne is. You know who Amy is. You know who Kevin is. You know who Tony Baloney is.
They actually developed the characters in the midst of all this foolishness.
With very little backstory.
Exactly.
But because the actors did such a good bad job at fleshing out the characters, you don't confuse one for the other.
Yep.
Of the $15,000, $10,000 went to the 4 puppets they made for the Hobgoblins. Which I am now on a mission to try and find a Hobgoblin action doll or toy or something. I want to put one here in the studio.
Gotta have one.
Yeah, absolutely. The 3 sets that they used for the entire movie, the house, the warehouse, and the club, were all perfectly bad.
Oh.
I mean, they were all in the same lot, but they all served their purpose. They didn't go anywhere else in this movie. Just those 3 places.
It's almost like they snuck in this place at night to film.
Yeah.
By the time the morning came,
because you made a good point. There were like 8 people in the club,
and that was probably the director's house they were filming in.
Yeah, it probably was.
It might have been.
I'm pretty sure
like
it was.
I said, this definitely looked like a college project.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So but I can't give it a 1 because, like, I feel like this is the kind of movie you have to watch with friends who like bad movies.
That's true.
And so, like, you can watch it by yourself once, but then after that, it won't be as fun until you have friends there with you.
Oh, I'd never watch anything like this. Even if it's a 1, I wouldn't watch it alone.
Right.
Because then it just takes the fun out of it.
Exactly. So I'm going to go straight to this movie is so much fun and so hilariously bad that you've got to get some friends together.
Yep.
Get some alcohol with you, and what kind of drinking game could they play?
Hobgoblin mustache game.
Hobgoblin mustache game, or just drink when you see a hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Which is not very often. Or just drink when you see. You know what? Just drink. Just fucking drink for the movie. Just drink for the movie.
Drink every time Kyle dials 976 skag.
That's only 3 times in the movie, but that's a lot.
But, yeah.
Yeah. So So I'm going 2 on this.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
So it was a good palate cleanser for what we did earlier.
Yes.
And if you want to know what we did earlier, go check out our show, State of Fear, found anywhere now.
Yeah. So if you want to find our show, What the Suck, we are on ForthHand.com.
Mm-hmm.
It is a new media network that we joined, and there's also a lot of other really good shows on there.
Oh, there's a ton of great shows, and from last I heard, they're looking at trying to add like 3 more new shows. The network has a plethora of different types of shows. Their main type of show, though, is paranormal show, which is great because we love the paranormal.
Absolutely.
So they have like maybe a handful of paranormal, 5 or 6 different paranormal type shows, conspiracy shows, but then they have movie shows. They have a Brady Bunch podcast,
yes, they do.
Just called A Very Brady Podcast, and they have a bunch of other great shows. But yeah, we're on their network now. We're super excited to be on with them, and we're looking forward to seeing how far this thing goes.
Absolutely, and we can still be found on several other platforms.
All major platforms.
All major platforms.
We do have our main page is on Fourth Hand, but we also on we're still on Anchor. We're on Castbox. All those you can find us no matter what. Just type it in and we'll pop up.
Absolutely. We are also on Facebook under What the Suck Podcast, and we are on Instagram under What the Suck. We're going to figure out a way to start engaging you guys in the actual review process that actually watch the movie. We want to hear from you, so we may come up with some contests or some. I'm going to think of some stuff. I mean, we have plenty of listens.
Yeah.
We got lots of listens, and we appreciate the hell out of that.
And we got some great fans out there, too.
But we definitely would love to start seeing personal reviews under these movies after you watch them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you can go back to the post and fill it in, but please do it. We'd
Yeah.
love to hear your opinion. If you think we're full of shit,
I wanna
mean,
hear
like
that
this
too.
movie, we enjoyed this movie. If you watch it and think it's an absolute turd pile, then tell us.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know what you think. All right, well, until then, I am Chris, and I will see you at the next Suckfest.
Yeah, and this is James, and if it ain't on What the Suck, it ain't shit.
You've been listening to a Fourth Hand Joint.